Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Moving ahead to the part of the assignment questions, the first question being what are environment pollutants? We have talked about it, wherein the pollutants are the harmful substances or the harmful substances in form of the solid, liquid or gas which are there to imbalance the situation in the environment. What is air pollution? You all know, when there is imbalance in the quality of the air. Imbalance in quality of the air is known as air pollution, quality of air. Water pollution, imbalance in quality of pollution, quality of water is what is termed as water pollution. Then they say name any one practice that can contribute to keeping the environment clean. We have talked about so many practices. We have talked about afforestation. We have talked about reducing the waste. We have talked about increasing the use of recyclable objects is what can be catered to here. Moving ahead, you have short answer questions, wherein the first one is how do agricultural societies give rise to the urban centers and cities. We have talked about it in the previous video, how the agricultural societies, you just have agriculture there, you need to have transportation here, you need to have other facilities like carpenters and weavers in the society, you need to have shopkeepers. So it is a kind of habitation that when you have agricultural around you, the services that are required around agriculture is what gives to the rise to the urban centers and cities. Moving ahead, what are the global dimensions of the environmental crisis? We have talked about the global dimension of the environmental crisis, wherein we have talked about the how it is seen, how the growing population is seen as one of the aspects, and how the material influence or the affluence of the resources is seen within as the crisis. Talking about what is environmental pollution, we know what is, we have talked about what is environmental pollution, wherein you see challenges in the environment, you see the disbalance in the environment, the imbalance in the environment, and the difference between the regeneration of the resources and the usage is known as environmental pollution. Why is conservation of environment necessary? It is necessary for our stable lives. It is necessary for us and our next generations per se to have a stable life and to have access of all the resources, so that we do not use the resources to that an extent that they are extinct and no more available. Talking about the difference between the pollution and the pollutants. Pollution is the deviation from the natural composition which is there, which is of the earth, whereas pollutants are the solid or the liquid or the gaseous substances in such a concentration that is injurious to life and living beings. Moving ahead, distinguish between the different types of societies on the basis of relationships. We have discussed the same question in the previous video as well. You may please refer to that. Discuss briefly the origin of environmental crisis. We have talked about the origin of environmental crisis, whereas the emergence can be traced with the urban industrial societies, the role of industrial revolution, and the role of industrialization and the role of increase in the population. All of it are the aspects related to the origin of environmental crisis. Moving ahead, explain the social response to the environmental crisis. When you talk about the social response, we have talked about two aspects. One was the environmental conservation, and the other one was the keeping the environment clean. And under that you may discuss what all has been discussed. Moving ahead, to explain the need of the conservation of the environment, again we have talked about why is it needful, why is it helpful, because it makes our survival a easy task. It makes the balance, it keeps the balance between the activities of the regeneration of the earth and resources of the earth and our consumption, and hence the conservation of the environment is extremely important. Identify some of the ways that you can adopt to keep the environment clean and green. We have discussed about it, and this is something that all of you will be able to answer as per your understanding. Describe the different local aspects of environmental crisis found in different types of pollution. Herein, you will take into account the air pollution, the water pollution, the land pollution, the noise pollution. It is something which is there, which is a local aspect and not a global aspect. And and when you discuss about all of this, it will be there to satisfy your answer. I hope this whole chapter, this whole unit of environment and the society is clear, is making is able to make the relation with your own lives. You're able to relate how we can be at our best practices to have a better environment, to have a better surrounding, and you are able to answer all the questions from the examination point of view as well. Thank you so much.